sweat beads on her neck, glistening under the midday sun like liquid fire, as the black woman in the crisp navy suit strides through the plaza, her heels clicking a rhythm of defiance against the concrete. The coffee in her hand trembles faintly, not from fear but from the electric pulse of rage she buries deep beneath her poised exterior. The officer's shadow looms suddenly, a hulking silhouette cutting through the crowd, his voice a jagged blade as he barks, "ID! Now!" Her lips part, a slow, sensual curl of breath escaping, but her eyes are steel unyielding, cutting through him like a lover's betrayal. He steps closer, too close, his breath hot and sour, his hand twitching toward the holster at his hip. "You don't belong here," he growls, accusation dripping from every syllable, his gaze raking over her body as if she's prey. The air thickens, humid with unspoken violence, and the crowd hushes, drawn to the spectacle like moths to a flame. She doesn't flinch. Her fingers glide toward her purse, deliberate, teasing the moment out as his chest puffs with misplaced triumph. The badge emerges, a glint of gold, a whisper of power, and his face collapses, a house of cards in a storm. "FBI," she purrs, her voice a velvet dagger, slicing through his bravado. His stammering fills the silence, a pathetic unraveling as phones rise around them, capturing his fall. "Next time," she murmurs, stepping past him, her scent of jasmine and authority lingering, "respect might save you." The plaza buzzes, alive with whispers, as she vanishes into the heat, leaving him stripped bare. For 300 beats of a racing heart, the scene burns, raw, unfiltered, a collision of power and shame. Then the thread begins to rewind, pulling back the veil to reveal the woman who wields such quiet ferocity, the man who dared to challenge her, and the tangled dance of passion and betrayal that brought them here. The day begins in the pre-dawn hush of Serena Voss's apartment, where silence hangs heavy, broken only by the distant wail of a siren. She stands at her window, barefoot on the hardwood, the coolness anchoring her as Los Angeles glimmers below, a sprawling beast stirring from sleep. Her reflection in the glass is sharp-edged, high cheekbones, full lips, eyes that carry the weight of too many battles. At 34, she's a woman forged in fire, her strength etched into every curve, her resolve a quiet storm. But beneath the surface there's a flicker of something softer. A wound she guards like a secret. She moves to the bathroom, the ritual a grounding force. The shower's heat envelops her, steam curling against her skin like a lover's touch. Water streams over her curls, her shoulders, the scar on her left arm, a jagged crescent from a raid gone wrong 3 years ago. Her fingers trace it, unbidden, and the memory surges. Marcus's voice in her earpiece, promising cover that never came, the cartel's gunfire pinning her down, the sting of betrayal sharper than the bullet that grazed her. She'd crawled to safety, blood soaking her sleeve, while he vanished with their intel and her heart. The scars faded but the ache lingers, a bruise she presses in private. She steps out, toweling off with brisk precision, and dresses with care. A navy suit tailored to her frame, a crisp white blouse, a swipe of red lipstick like a declaration of war. Her badge sits on the counter, glinting under the light, a vow she renews daily. She clips it to her waistband, holsters her Glock, and grabs her coffee, black, no sugar, a mirror to her mood. The mirror reflects a woman armored for battle, but her eyes betray a flicker of doubt, buried deep. Downstairs, her car waits, a sleek black sedan, unremarkable but fast. She slides in, the leather cool against her thighs, and drives toward the federal building. The city wakes around her, horns blaring, vendors shouting, the air thick with heat and exhaust. She's early, always is. But today feels heavier, the weight of the mission pressing against her ribs. For weeks, her team's been tracking a cartel shipment, cocaine and cash, hidden in a cargo of imported furniture, due to dock tonight. They're close, closer than they've been in years, and she's the linchpin. Failure isn't an option, not after Marcus gutted their last operation. At the federal building, she rides the elevator to the 16th floor alone, the hum of machinery a steady pulse. Her office is a fortress of paper, case files stacked like battlements, surveillance logs pinned to a corkboard, a photograph of Marcus she hasn't thrown out. His smile mocks her from the frame, all charm and deceit, and she resists the urge to shatter it. Instead, she sits, sips her coffee, and dives into the latest intel. The shipments moving through the port at midnight, disguised as crates of teak chairs. Her team's ready, agents in place, warrants secured, a plan she's drilled into them until it's second nature. But trust gnaws at her. She trusts Lopez, with his quiet intensity, Kim with her sharp wit, but Marcus taught her how fragile that can be. Her phone buzzes, pulling her from the file. It's Lopez, eyes on the target. Port's quiet so far. She texts back, stay sharp. I'm heading out soon. The clock ticks toward noon, and the heat outside presses against the windows, a living thing. She grabs her coffee badge and gun and heads for the plaza, her shortcut to the staging point downtown. As she steps into the elevator, she catches her reflection again, and for a moment, she sees the woman she was before. Marcus younger, softer, trusting. She blinks, and that woman's gone. The plaza is a living pulse when she enters it, a sprawling artery of concrete and flesh. The sun beats down, relentless, turning the pavement into a skillet that sears through her heels. The crowd moves in waves, suits darting to meetings, vendors hawking tamales and knockoff sunglasses, a busker strumming a guitar with broken strings. The air smells of sweat, grease, and something faintly sweet like overripe fruit. Serena cuts through it, her stride purposeful, her coffee a shield against the chaos. Her suit clings to her, the fabric whispering against her skin, and her curls bounce with each step, catching the light in a halo of defiance. She's halfway across when she feels it. The shift in the air, the weight of eyes. She doesn't slow, doesn't flinch, but her senses sharpen. It's instinct, honed by years fieldwork, and it's rarely wrong. She scans the crowd without turning her head, cataloging faces, postures, threats. Then she sees him. Officer Daniel Ruiz, broad-shouldered and restless, his uniform crisp but his energy jagged. He's pacing near a fountain, his hand resting on his belt, inches from his gun. His eyes lock on her, narrowing, and she feels the appraisal, her suit, her skin, her presence, like a brand. Ruiz is 32, a man who wears his badge like a crown and his authority like armor. He's been on edge all week, reprimands piling up, a girlfriend who left him for someone softer, a sense that the city's slipping from his grip. The plaza is his domain, a stage where he plays king, and Serena, calm, composed, black, stands out like a challenge. He doesn't know her, doesn't care to. To him, she's an intruder, a woman who dares to move with purpose in a space he's claimed. His jaw tightens, and he steps into her path. It day, now! His voice cracks the air, sharp and demanding, drawing heads like moths to a flame. The crowd slows, a ripple of curiosity spreading, and Serena stops. Her breath catches, not from fear but from memory. Marcus's voice echoes in her mind, low and treacherous. The night he sold her out. Trust me, Serena. She shakes it off, tilts her head, and studies Ruiz. His stance is aggressive, his chest puffed, but there's a flicker of uncertainty in his eye. She knows his type, power-hungry, brittle, a man who breaks things to feel whole. What's the issue, officer? Her tone is smooth, a silk glove over a steel fist, but he misses the edge. He steps closer, invading her space, his breath hot with coffee and bravado. You don't belong here, he says, the words dripping with assumption. His eyes rake over her, her curves, her skin, the coffee in her hand, and she feels the violation, a trespass she's endured too often. Suspicious activity, he adds. The lie clumsy, almost laughable, her lips twitch, a ghost of a smile masking the fury coiling in her chest. She's faced worse cartel lieutenants, double crosses, Marcus's hands on her skin, but this petty flex lights a spark. The crowd thickens, phones glinting like predators' eyes, and the air hums with tension. Serena moves deliberately, her hand dipping into her purse, fingers brushing her badge. Ruiz smirks, mistaking her calm for surrender, his hand hovering near his holster. The plaza holds its breath, the heat wrapping them in a sultry embrace. Then, the reveal. She pulls the badge free, letting it catch the sun, a golden flare that blinds him. "FBI," she says, her voice low, intimate, a lover's whisper edged with venom. Ruiz's face collapses, shock, then panic, as the weight of his error lands. The crowd gasps, murmurs swelling into a roar. He stammers, I didn't know, his bravado dissolving into sweat and shame. She steps closer, her scent, jasmine, power, a hint of something untouchable enveloping him. Next time, respect might save you, she says, her words a blade slip between his ribs. She turns, heels clicking a slow retreat, leaving him rooted to the concrete. The crowd erupts. Admiration, outrage, a woman's laugh slicing through the noise. Serena doesn't look back, her mind's already shifting. Marcus, the shipment, the night ahead. But the encounter lingers, a bruise she'll press later. Ruiz stands frozen as the crowd disperses, his chest heaving, sweat beading on his brow. His hand trembles as it falls from his gun, the badge's glint still burning behind his eyes. He's humiliated, stripped bare by a woman he'd sized up and misjudged, and the weight of it crushes him. The phones caught it all. He knows they did, and the precinct will hear about it before his shift ends. He retreats to his cruiser, parked near the plaza's edge, and slumps into the driver's seat. The air inside is stifling, the vinyl hot against his back, but he doesn't start the engine. His mind replays her voice, her scent, the way she turned his power against him without raising a hand. He's angry, furious, but there's something else, a flicker of awe, of want, that he can't name. It unsettles him, burrows under his skin like a splinter. His radio crackles, pulling him back. Ruiz report in, it's dispatch, but he ignores it. He's off duty in an hour, and he needs to think. The week's been hell, his sergeant chewing him out for a botched stop. His ex texting him photos of her new guy, the sense that he's losing control. Serena Voss was supposed to be a win, a chance to flex, but she flipped the script. Now he's the fool, and the video's probably viral already. He drives to the precinct, the city blurring past, and parks in the lot. Inside, the air's cooler but no less heavy. His locker's a mess. Photos of his ex, a crumpled gym towel, a half-empty bottle of cologne. He splashes water on his face, stares into the mirror, and sees a man unraveling. The chief calls him in before he can sit, the video already cued on a screen. Explain this, the chief says, his voice flat but his eyes hard. Ruiz tries, stumbles over excuse. Protocol, suspicion, but it's hollow. The chief cuts him off. You're on desk duty pending review, get out. Ruiz leaves, his pride in tatters, and replays Serena's parting shot. Respect might save you. It stings, but it sticks. He's not done with her, not yet. Dusk falls as Serena sits in her car. The plaza a fading smudge in her rear view. Her phone buzzes. Texts from Kim. Videos everywhere. You're a legend. She doesn't reply, doesn't watch it. Validation from strangers means nothing. The mission does. She drives toward the port. The city's lights, smearing into streaks of gold and red. The sting's hours away, and her mind sharpens, shedding Ruiz like dead skin. She meets her team in a warehouse near the docks. The air thick with salt and oil. Lopez briefs her. Shipment's on schedule. We've got eyes on the truck. Kim adds. Guards are light, cocky bastards. Serena nods, her plan unfolding in her head. They'll hit fast, silent, before the cartel knows what's coming. But Marcus haunts her, a ghost in every shadow. He knew their playbook, helped write it, and if he's still tied to the cartel, he could tip them off. She buries the doubt, focuses on the now. The night stretches tense and humid as they move into position. Serena's in the lead, her Glock steady, her breath even. The truck rolls in at midnight, headlights cutting through the dark, and her team strikes, doors breached. Shouts, swallowed by the sea. It's over fast. Drugs seized, 3 arrests, no shots fired. A win, clean and sharp, but incomplete. Marcus isn't there, and the absence gnaws at her. Back at her apartment, she pours a bourbon, the amber liquid catching the light. The scar aches, a phantom pain, and she wonders where he is. Marcus, the man who broke her. The plaza clash feels distant now. Ruiz a footnote to her war. But the night's not done whispering its secret. The next morning, Serena wakes to a city buzzing with her name. The videos spread, shared across platforms, dissected by strangers. She avoids it, but Kim sends her a link with a winking emoji. You're trending. Serena deletes it, her focus already shifting to the next lead. A tip about a cartel safe house, possibly tied to Marcus. She's at her desk by 7, coffee in hand when Lopez knocks. "You good after yesterday?" he asks, his voice low. She nods, but his eyes linger, seeing more than she wants. "Rice is suspended," he adds. "Chief's pissed." Serena shrugs, but the news settles like dust. She hadn't meant to ruin him, only to walk away whole. Across town, Ruiz sits in his apartment, the blinds drawn, a beer sweating in his hand. The suspension's a blow, but the humiliation cuts deeper. He's watched the video, seen the comments. Some call him a bully, others a victim of a set. He doesn't know what to believe, only that Serena Voss has upended his world. He Googles her, finds scraps, FBI, decorated agent. No personal details. Her face lingers in his mind. Those eyes, that voice, and he hates how it stirs him. He wants redemption, or revenge, or something he can't name. Serena's day unfolds in a blur of meetings and leads. The safe house tip pans out, a rundown building in East LA, cash and weapons stashed in the walls. No Marcus, but a ledger with his initials, a taunt from the past. She takes it home, pours over it under lamplight, her bourbon forgotten. The cartel's moving again, faster than she expected, and Marcus's shadow looms larger. She calls Kim at midnight. "We need surveillance on the port, tonight." Kim groans but agrees, and Serena grabs her jacket, restless. The port's quiet when she arrives, the air heavy with fog. She's alone, off the books, driven by a hunch she can't shake. She spots a figure near a warehouse, tall, familiar, moving with Marcus's swagger. Her heart lurches, but she stays low, trailing him. It's not him, just a guard, jumpy and young. But the adrenaline lingers, sharp and bitter. She drives home, the city a blur, and collapses into bed, haunted by ghosts. Ruiz, meanwhile, can't sleep. He's at a dive bar nursing a whiskey, when a buddy texts him, "Saw your video, rough break." He ignores it, but the bar's TV replays the clip. Serena's badge glinting like a blade. He leaves, walks the streets, and finds himself near the plaza. It's empty now, the fountains murmur the only sound. He replays their clash, her words, and feels a shift, anger giving way to something rawer, a need to prove himself. Serena's week spirals into chaos. The cartel's escalating, hits on informants, a bomb threat at the port. She's in the field daily, her team stretched thin. Lopez takes a graze in a raid, Kim's working double shifts, and Serena's running on coffee and will. The ledger's her obsession. Its code's a puzzle she can't crack. She visits an old contact, a hacker named Jace, who owes her a favor. He's wiry, paranoid, but good, too good. "This is cartel shit," he says, scanning the pages. "Your boy Marcus is deep in it." Her stomach twists, but she nods, unsurprised. Jace cracks a code by dawn, coordinates. A meet tonight in an abandoned lot. Serena goes alone, against protocol, her Glock a familiar weight. The lot's dark, littered with broken glass, and she waits, breath steady. A car pulls up, and she tenses. Marcus steps out, older but unmistakable, his smile a blade. "Serena," he says, like it's a reunion, not a reckoning. She keeps her gun low, her voice colder. "You're done." He laughs, offers a deal, intel for immunity, but she sees the lie, the same one he spun years ago. She cuffs him, calls for backup, and walks away as sirens wail, her heart a storm. Ruiz hears about the arrest, sees her name in reports. He's back on duty, barely, pushing papers while his career hangs by a thread. He tracks her down, waits outside the federal building, and catches her leaving. "Boss," he calls, his voice rough. She stops, eyes narrowing, and he fumbles. No script. "I was wrong," he says, raw, unguarded. She studies him, sees the cracks, and softens, just a fraction. "Learn from it," she says, and walks away, leaving him to rebuild. The story ends unresolved, a dance of heat and shadow. Serena drives into the night, Marcus in custody but the cartel still breathing. She's a queen in a game of pawns. Her scars her crown. Ruiz stands alone, a king dethroned, groping for redemption. The plaza waits, a silent witness, as the city hums with secrets.